Welcome to GoMarquette.com for Week 3 of the Marquette Volleyball Report. I'm Chris Gulke. As usual, I'm joined by the head coach of the women's volleyball team, Bond Shymansky. Coach, another weekend in the books for you. Didn't go probably quite the way you wanted. Ended up finishing 1-2, but your team was very competitive against some good competition. There's got to be some positives you can take away from the weekend.
Yeah, you know, we're still early in the season, so I'm not really ready to wax philosophical about what we could or couldn't do or whatever, but I just feel like our team's good. You know, our team's really good, and to beat great teams on the road in their gym, we just have to be great. And we showed whole games of greatness, but just not whole matches of greatness. And you know, the UCI win was a good start for us on the weekend. Beat them 3-0. But you're playing Stanford, who's number 3, won plenty of national championships, has some really outstanding players. They're very well coached. We battled. Game 1, I think we were a little scared. We were a little intimidated, but we shook that off really quick and really competed and beat them soundly in Game 2. And we're right in it in Game 3 all the way up to about 18 or 19 points. And then we just got a little loose. And you know, you take one mental break for 1 point against a team like Stanford, they're going to beat you. And so there's a lot of good things happening within our program, within our team. There are players right now that are stepping up after they make a mistake that they weren't able to do that last season. And so that's really encouraging for us as a coaching staff. We are nothing but optimistic about this season and particularly about this weekend. The biggest thing we knew about scheduling tough like we did the opening 2 weekends, where we were going to play 3 top 25 teams all on their home court, was not whether we won or lost, but how would we manage or deal with the emotional load afterward. Sometimes if you win those matches, you might think you're better than you are, and then you have a letdown. And when you lose those matches, you might start second-guessing yourself. But I think our team is in a really good spot with regard to the emotional and the psychological impact of those matches. And they're hungry to get here at home and win.
And you talk about players stepping up. Now, freshman Rachel Stier has started every match for you so far this season. What have you seen from her play early on, and how excited was she to get back home and play from her hometown?
Well, Rachel's doing great. You know, she great ball control, really nice defense. She's just such an easy competitor out on the court. She doesn't get frazzled too much, and I think she's very driven internally, so that works well for what we're trying to get her to do. It was cool for her, I think, you know, play UCI, play Stanford at Stanford, which is about 40 minutes from her house, but then St. Mary's on Sunday is only about 20 minutes from home. There were more fans there to see Rachel than there were to see St. Mary's, and so it felt like a home match to a certain degree. And that was really cool. If anything, if we can get our players that are from out of this region, we can get them to their home crowds and let them kind of show people what they got and what they're doing. And I think Rachel's really proud of how she's improving, but she's also really proud of being part of Marquette Volleyball. And I think she showed that we have something special going on, and she's a special part of that.
And we actually had a chance to catch up with Rachel to get her thoughts on this past weekend.
It was so nice to see everyone and play in front of my home crowd. It's like I never left. Like, everyone was there cheering and supporting for me and my team, and it was a really good feeling. I think that our team plays really well together. Coming out in the first tournament, I felt comfortable playing with the girls, and I thought we did well. There's always room for improvement, but as the Big East comes, I think we'll be ready.
All right, Coach, you return home this weekend for the first time this season. You're welcome in Creighton Friday night for the first round of the Marquette Invitational. A few of these matches will actually be streamed on GoMarquette.com. What are you looking to get out of this first home weekend for you guys?
W's. We want to win. We need to win. We need to do it on our home court. That's one of the things that we almost did well last year that we want to improve on this year. We need to win every match at home. We have some monster big matches for us, both this weekend out of conference and, of course, when we get into Big East play. So Creighton's going to be a really tough battle for us. We kind of call it the Battle of the Jesuits, and we're looking forward to playing them. They're playing in a strong league. They've had a couple of good matches already this year and some big tests. You know, they've played top 5 teams also. So I don't imagine that they're going to be scared by us. And then to turn around and play UW-Milwaukee on Saturday night, that should always be a great match. There's a good grind there, I think, between the two teams. And then on Sunday, Toledo. And so we get to play 3 matches in 3 days once again. And we're going to have the physical fortitude, the mental and emotional fortitude to get out there and get it done all 3 days. Toledo is a scary team right now, too. They beat Michigan, who's ranked last weekend. So it's hard to know exactly what we're going to get out of these teams, but we know we're going to get good volleyball.
All right, Coach, best of luck on the weekend. Thanks for tuning in for this edition of the Marquette Volleyball Report. Be sure to tune in next week as we'll recap the Marquette Invitational and we'll look ahead to the Northwestern Invitational. We'll see you next week.